there's someone who's thinking about you. That's the energy that I'm getting. I'm hearing initially there's someone who you're heavy on their mind. So someone is thinking about you a lot. Someone is really feeling about you a lot. They have a lot of, there's a lot of stuff that they haven't said is what I'm really getting. And I feel like this message is coming through because it is so strong in what they're feeling. And yet at the same time, I'm just feeling this energy that they, oh, there we go. There we go. They haven't quite come to conclusion of exactly what they want to say or exactly how they're feeling, okay? But they know the majority of it. They just like, it almost feels like they want to know for sure. But I'm also just getting this energy that like it's quite strong how they're feeling, and they're just, they're thinking about you a lot. And what I'm also getting is that you may be getting, I'm getting like flashes, like you may be getting like flash thoughts of this person, or even moments where suddenly they just show up in your brain, or like you may get like images in your brain of this person or memories that you have with this person, okay? And it comes kind of like unexpectedly into your brain, and you're just like, it's like you're very aware. You can feel them feeling you is the energy that's coming through in this message. The reason that this message is coming through is because this person is feeling so deeply, and you may even have more than one person feeling about you right now, actually. Like you may be getting flashes of quite a few different people randomly is what I'm getting. But the reason that this message is coming through is for you to understand that it's okay for them to feel how they're feeling and to not be communicating. I know that that might be a little bit hard to hear, but I'm just feeling this like maybe there's a part of you that like wants them to communicate a little bit more, or you can feel the anticipation of them feeling you, and it's getting to a point where you're feeling it often enough. Like you must be some kind of a very intuitive being, because I'm getting this energy of like, you know, like when people are feeling about you, and you know when they're thinking about you, and sometimes you even, I get that you even counteract yourself, or you humble yourself, or you degrade your intuitive abilities, because sometimes you think about things and then you pin it back on yourself, where you're like, oh, that's just me, like that's just me processing. It's like you intuitively feel that someone else is thinking and feeling about you, and then you flip it back on yourself as if it's you that's like processing that energy instead of like them feeling about you. And so you almost like, it can be something that really starts to get in your head is what I'm getting. And this can be something that's like, maybe you're still like learning this balance, or like learning to dance between allowing others to think about you and also not taking yourself out in that same regard. Sorry, I got distracted. Someone just like went in a door over there. I do feel like there's a lot of clearing energy happening. I also feel like what I'm really getting, they're showing me the Ace of Swords, but in regards to this other person. Okay, so this person is having new insight arrive around the way that they feel and think and perceive you. I actually feel like they're coming to conclusion about something that they're going to be communicating with you soon. Now I'm seeing the Eight of Wands. Yeah, so they are going to be communicating with you quite soon. Actually, what's interesting is I'm also seeing the High Priestess. So they definitely, it's like okay, so this person has a lot of knowing about you as well. So this person could also be quite intuitive, or maybe they don't project that they're intuitive, but I do think that there's this interesting like telepathic energy that you guys have with each other, okay, where you kind of like are speaking without speaking. And it's kind of an interesting thing, because it's like you guys are still processing and you're still connected, and yet you might not like be in like a very deep communicative space right now. You could live far away from each other as well, as what I'm getting, which could add to the fact that you guys are more telepathic than communicating and conversating all the time via either technologies or in person, right? I'm also getting this like clogginess that's coming through right now as I'm speaking. So there's definitely a little bit of a congested energy between your guys' connection, okay? So that really just adds to the fact that you guys could be at a stronger distance from one another. Let's move back into you, because this person's cool, but like, I really feel like there's something right now that's happening and that you're moving through that when others think and feel about you, maybe sometimes you feel a little bit guilty is what I'm getting. Like maybe, or it's not even guilt, okay? Let me try and really pinpoint this energy. Okay, here's what it is. You are such a giver, okay? You're such a giver. You're a lover, and you want to be made available all the time to all the people that you love. And the energy that I'm feeling here is that when you're available to only one area, or you only have so much energy to give, that's where that kind of guilt is coming through, okay? So the energy that I'm actually getting is that you feel a little bit, it's not disappointed, but it's like, you feel like, oh, is there a term? Like you feel like you don't have enough of yourself to give to everyone. And there's something about you where you want to give yourself, because you know that like you love in a very particular or specific way. And I feel like the way that you love is a way that a lot of people, especially these beings that have been thinking and feeling about you, don't often find, okay? So I feel like you're kind of like this, I want to say just like rare, but like it's more like an elixir that people can't get much of, which is actually a really great thing to be. But there's something about the fact that you are this like this rare elixir, or this like, there's only so much of you, right? And you feel like you want to be able to give more of yourself, because you know how you're able to assist others and love others. And you also have this part of you that when you're giving to someone, it's like and you know when you're not giving to another, and you can feel, okay, here's where that telepathy comes in, and that intuitive ability. You can feel when people want your energy, especially when it's unavailable, because you're using what you have without draining yourself and giving it to where you want to give it, okay? Very interesting. But that's why several people could also be thinking about you, is because it's interesting. They are going through some kind of a process where they only get so much of you, but then they have to go through a cycle of figuring out not to depend on your energy, which is really interesting. So it's really like you're this beautiful elixir, and you just want to be eternal and endless, and you are, but like at a slow pace. So it's like you're able to refill yourself, so you have more of yourself to give, so you are eternal in that way, but you can't let everyone drink you dry, is what I'm really getting. Especially these people who can become very dependent on you. And I'm really getting an energy that it's more than just like one person. Like I feel like there's several different characters that kind of like go in and out of like wanting your energy, and you have learned this game of like push and pull, is what I'm getting, where you have to pull yourself back away when you realize that you're giving a lot of energy to certain beings that are in your life, that you want in your life, but they can grow very dependent on you energetically, okay? This is quite interesting, because this isn't where I thought this message was gonna go. I really thought it was gonna be like, this person loves you and they think about you, and they do. That's actually quite true. There's several people that really love you and really like want to dive into your energy consistently, and yet you're in this really beautiful like I want to keep saying dance, like you're literally dancing between learning to push and pull and allow your energy into people's lives, and then also pull it back so that you don't drain out or dry out, and so that they don't become dependent on your energy as well. And then it's really interesting because it's almost like through you attending to your own wellspring, ooh, I love that. Wait, that was so good. Your own wellspring. Through you attending to your own wellspring, you are literally teaching other people as well to redepend on themselves. Okay, there we go. So you're also like, it's so funny because you're teaching by choosing yourself and coming back to yourself and not allowing yourself to be drained. Which is really interesting because I'm actually getting this energy that like this has been a really long time coming for you to end up in a position where you're choosing to water your own garden, right? Where you're choosing to take care of yourself in this way, because I don't feel like you always have, to be completely honest. I feel like you've probably had many years of your life where you dried out over and over and over and over again. For a lot of people, you might have even felt like you lost yourself for a while there, or like you just had no energy to give, and you may have even like been taken to the point of exhaustion where you had to run away, is what I'm getting. Like run away in some sort, and literally just be by yourself in order to revitalize yourself and come back to life. And now that you're back alive again, ooh, there's a throat chakra block here. Now that you're back alive again, you're literally like, you're just taking care of yourself so well. And I'm also getting this energy that this message is so fucking cool, because I love when a message is about someone else but then it's actually not about them at all, it's about you. That's so fucking dope. Okay. Where was I? Hold on. I just got so excited and it distracted me. Let me take a sip of my matcha. Look how fucking beautiful and green she is today. I was talking about this season of your, or not season, but how you're watering yourself. Well, my train of thought just like ran away from me, so give me a second. I don't know what just happened. Oh. Okay, they're telling me that like since you're still learning how to take care of yourself, you're kind of in this interesting zone where you're still trying to figure out, that's where that throat chakra block comes in. You're still trying to figure out how to kind of like choose yourself and speak up specifically on yourself. Like I feel like you're still getting taught some lessons and put in some positions where people would run you dry if they could. Not that they're doing that intentionally, but I'm also getting that these may be some of those people that are in your life where you're like, you still give to them and you want to and you love them. You have love for these beings, okay? And they think about you a lot and they want to talk to you, or they want to be in communion with you. And you're at this interesting point where you are really, it's like you're really learning which, they're showing me a garden, of course, because this is the garden of you. They're showing me this garden, and then they're also showing me a wellspring right next to it, because that's the wellspring of you. And they're literally showing me like you filling up a water bucket and then pouring it out on specific plants, figuring out which ones really need the water and which ones can go longer without water. And it's like this learning process for you, trying to figure out like where you can, oh, alarm. I'm taking my best friend to the airport today, so I had an alarm set, but I ended up waking up way earlier, which thank God. Where? That was confirmation of something. But you're trying to figure out, you're trying to learn where to put your elixir of the essence of you. And I think that throat chakra block is really tied to you still setting I don't want to say setting boundaries quite to that degree, but figuring out when to stop watering is the energy that I'm getting. Okay, so like, because when you start giving, the energy that I'm getting and that I've been feeling from you this whole time is like you're a giver. Like I've said that earlier, but like you want to water and water and water. You're like, oh, you look so good, all wet and dewy little plant. I keep wanting to water you. Like I just get this energy that you're such a giver and lover as well. And I feel like everything that you give does come from your heart chakra. I was literally seeing green a minute ago as well. I was also seeing green gemstones, and so that could be significant, but I feel like it's tied to your heart chakra. Okay, like I just think that you're such a lover and you're very in your heart chakra. So once you like start to see the way that people blossom when they are loved, especially by your love, there is something so special and like different about your love. I just feel like people light up when you love them and they literally radiate and glow. And I feel like that's also because you offer a very safe love, and it's a very authentic, non-conditional love, okay? I needed to pause there just to give that moment exactly what it deserved. But because you see the way that people radiate when you love them, you want to keep loving them. And so you're really in this interesting dance between how much you want to love people and how much you also need to make sure that there's enough radiance inside of yourself to be able to love people in the way that you want to love people. It's such a beautiful energy, but it's also like you are still learning, especially with that throat chakra block that came through. You're learning how you can pull back in a way that's healthy, and also how much you can love and to what degree in a way that's also healthy, that doesn't leave people, I want to say, wanting more or dependent upon you. But then let's get back into this energy, because when I say that, it makes me feel like you also need a huge reminder that you're not responsible for the way other people feel. Like you're not responsible for others' emotions and their dependency habits. And I feel like that's a really strong message for you as well, because you are such a lover and you want to love. And sometimes you might experience guilt when you love someone so much that then they become dependent upon your love. Or they want it so badly that they don't know how to live without it, is kind of the energy that I'm getting. And then you experience guilt, like you break yourself down because you don't want to put people in that position, but it's actually, you're not responsible for their emotions. Like, yes, take responsibility for what you are responsible for. If you haven't communicated, if you have shown up in a way that is unhealthy or disrespectful, but if you've shown up, and if that's where that throat chakra block comes in too, because learning to show up is so significant, especially showing up in communication. And if you have done that, then you're not responsible for the way that others respond. Remember that, okay? I feel like that's a really big lesson that you are being brought back to and learning, because you are such a lover and you're meant to love to the full capacity of how you're allowed to love. And I also just get this energy about the way that you love, and we've already been feeling this a little bit, but I just feel like you love a little bit, I don't want to say more deeply, but I feel like you love to such an authentic degree that, and such an unconditional degree, okay? So you love so unconditionally and to such an authentic degree, and you love in a way that you, little creatures flying around, you love in a way that it's like your love is eternal and isn't limited by one individual, which is interesting. Okay, so you're someone who you can love many people at one time. And I feel like that's something that's also really hard for a lot of other people, because they, especially these people that feel dependent upon your love, because they want just your love, and yet you have this love about you that is meant for so many. Like you literally came here to love in such an unconditional way, and to love many, not just one person. And how that love shows up is a little bit different per each individual that you love. But I am getting this energy also for some of you, that some of you literally love several people at once, or you also just, you have these interesting dives in and out of all these different relationships that move through your life, and sometimes they do overlap. I'm also getting this energy of like, these relationships overlap as well, because the lessons that the other beings that like your soul chose, they also chose you for the lessons to learn of choosing themselves, which is really interesting. And so that's where that overlap lies, is that these beings, they actually chose you as a soul to ignite them or activate them to choose themselves. And that's why you have relationships over time. I'm really getting like a long period of time. Like maybe you have cycles in your life where like relationships really overlap for years. People come in and out of your life. And that also creates this interesting like energetic dance that you're doing, that your soul partners can feel when you're doing it, where you're going in and out and back and forth and back into yourself, and they have to choose themselves to not be dependent upon you being only in their energy, when you're a soul that was meant to dance in love between so many different essences and not just one. Okay? It's quite interesting. But I just want you to know, hold on. Okay. The camera was about to cut out. I just want you to know that like, you were born to love in the way that you do, and to have all of these experiences of the random overlaps and the dance in between and out of all these different relationships. And sometimes it can feel quite intense, but there's just this really strong message here of like, you literally like were meant to love many. And I think that that's something that's hard for a lot of people to understand, because if you like, people that didn't come here to have that experience, it doesn't compute in their brain how to love many, and how to have a love that is so unconditional that you can love many all at once. And the construct of society as well is something that's really difficult when it comes to that love, because we weren't taught that you can love many. But let's break it down and take it a little bit back, because it's not about just loving many. It's about the fallback. Like, you have this really authentic, natural way of loving that goes all the way back to when people lived in tribes and lived in a tribal sense, where you literally are in a relationship with every single person in that tribe. And all the relationships mix and twist and mingle a little bit, and like, but it's like you're in a relationship with everyone in that tribe, and that's the way that you love. It's like you have this innate way of loving that is such a old school energy that it's so long ago in history that we don't have any history of it in our books, because they have been changed. And you're here also to bring back the essence of loving on a wider scale, okay? And loving many and going in and out. And I think that this is also something that you've probably struggled with just a little bit, because I feel like the fact that you love so many is kind of hard for you also, because you have also been raised in a construct where you're only allowed to love one. And yet you've had these moments in your life where you're like, I have this so much love in this body, in this being, in my soul, and I have it from so many sources all at the same time. And it's a little confusing because you've had to fall back into your own knowing of your love in order to allow yourself to be that natural force of love that you are in this world. Whew! This is quite the message. I'm literally stunned. Like, this is so wild. And it's so beautiful. So just, I guess, like, our finalizing energy that's coming through here is, remember that you came here to shift the paradigm of love and continue allowing yourself to love on a wider scale than other people understand or comprehend, because you didn't come here to love timidly. You came here to love wildly and vibrantly in the full essence. Whoo, do you hear that? In the full essence of who you are and how you're meant to shift the paradigm by being that frequency and vibration of love that you are. Whew. And allow yourself to continue to speak upon it and to speak that love to others, because we've had a throat shock coming through here quite a bit. So there's definitely something that you're moving through in your throat right now. And the other last message is, like, remember, you are not responsible for the way that other people respond, okay? As long as you are showing up authentically and not in harm to anyone and speaking upon your essence, the way others respond is their own reflection for themselves to transform, okay? It's not on you to transform them. It's only on you to continue to show up authentically in the love that you are, okay? Especially these people that we felt in the beginning, because there's very individual people that are in your life that feel you and process you. And again, like, all the energies that we've talked about, but, like, remember that they can show up just as vibrantly as you can. And it's their journey to choose to walk away from their dependency on love from an outside source. They chose you as a person to activate them in love. Okay? They literally chose you. They chose your soul because of this vibration of love that you offer. Because they knew that it was the only love that would truly activate them to choose and fall in love with themselves. Okay? All right. I love you so, so very much. And wow, I'm amazed by your love. And this love is such a gift to feel. You're such a gift to feel. So thank you for allowing me to read your energy, and I will see you in the next message.